Global War 36 enthusiast here with Operation 8th Air Force, turn 11.4, Japan. It is July 1941. At the request of my good friend Boston Bruce, I am going to roll my own dice for tech unless there's something where it would affect my buy or my planning for how I might do an attack. So I will just roll later when I've got my camera centered on my dice tower. I'll roll my techs, but I'll announce now that my two techs will be radar and long-range aircraft. Purchases. Japan has 61 IPP to spend. I will purchase 5 militia for 10, 7 infantry for 21, that's 31. I will complete the construction of a heavy fleet carrier for 6, that is 37. I will begin construction of 2 heavy battleships for 12, that's 49. And I will advance the construction of my 2 heavy battleships from stage 3 to stage 2 for 12. That brings me to 61. Combat movement. My first combat movement is this seaplane is going to come out 1-2, go on map, have a roll at 3, then 1-2, land in Honshu. Second, these 3 tactical bombers in British Malaya, they will fly out to Sea Zone P50, go on map, conduct convoy raiding, and then they'll fly back to British Malaya. Next, the coastal submarine that's in P50 will convoy raid there. The coastal sub that's in P59 will convoy raid there. The 2 submarines that are in I4 will convoy raid there. And the 2 submarines that are in A54 will convoy raid there. All right. I think that's all my convoy raiding. Up here from Rihe, 1 infantry will move into eastern Manchuria and recapture that, trying to recover from the surprise attack by the Soviets. So Japan goes up to 51 and the Soviet Union drops to 58. Next, from Sea Zone P50, this little task force here consisting of a battle cruiser, 2 destroyers, a torpedo boat destroyer, and a naval transport. The 2 destroyers will pick up these 2 Marines, one from Luzon and Visayas, the other one from Mindanao. And then they will pick up, the naval transport will pick up, same thing, 1 infantry from Luzon and Visayas, and 1 infantry from Mindanao. And this task force will move over to I-7 and drop off 2 infantry and 2 Marines in Maharashtra to conduct an amphibious assault. The battle cruiser will provide shore bombardment. From Sumatra, 1 medium bomber coming from, I'm in British Malaya, sorry, not Sumatra. From British Malaya, 1 medium bomber coming from an airbase, so it has a range of 6. 1 to I-12, 2 to I-7, 3 to Maharashtra, and then it will land back in British Malaya. So it'll be those 5 units plus a bombardment versus that infantry. And then I think I have 1 more attack. Yep. Okay, from Aden, 1 naval transport will leave port to Sea Zone I-4 carrying 1 infantry. It will move down to I-1 and drop off the 1 infantry in Cape Town to conduct an amphibious assault. Love these new naval transport sculpts from HBG. They're so much better than the default naval transports. Okay, from South Africa, I have 3 infantry and a Marine moving into Cape Town, and from Southwest Africa, 1 Marine will move into Cape Town. So that will get me 4 infantry, 3 Marines? Wait, is that right? No. I thought I brought in, 4 infantry, 2 Marines, did I lose a guy? Gosh, I'm so sorry, you guys. Okay, I brought down 4, 5, yeah, 6. Okay, so I'll have 4 infantry and 2 Marines going into Cape Town. All right, and then the fighters. 1 fighter, let's start with the fighter on the carrier. From I-1, 1 fighter will fly 1 to Cape Town, 2 to I-1, 3 to I-3, and land in Italian Somaliland, and the other fighter will do the same thing, doing kind of a swapperoo. It will land on the carrier, so I'll have 2 fighters in that battle. And that is all my attacks. All right. Let's roll for tech. That'll be the first thing we do. Keep Bruce happy. That's always a good idea when you're playing against Bruce. Keep Bruce happy. Don't let the Wookiee win. Okay, I'll just use this black die. Radar is the first one I'm rolling for. I need a 7 or higher. 7. And the second roll is for long-range aircraft. I need an 8 or higher. 6. Okay. So I got 1. Happy with that. Go to stage 2 on radar. Let's do the 1 shot at 3 with that seaplane in C-Zone P34. I could get a coastal sub, but nope, I miss. I've got 3 tactical bombers performing convoy raiding in P50. So let's look at this. I get a +1 for the fighter, for the aircraft, and he gets +2 because he has long range and radar. Okay, so he's a +1 basically, and white is the defender. First tactical, nothing. Second tactical. Okay, so I think he's at +1, so I did 3 points of damage, but the max in that line is 2 points of damage. So 1 off Anzac and 1 off FEC. So Anzac drops to 11, and FEC drops to 7. All right. Next, we have 2 subs in I-4, but one of the lines has already been damaged to the FEC, so all I can do is 1 point of damage to the British. Here, it's flat, because I get a +2 for being a sub, and he has +2. So it flat, red is the attacker. First sub, nothing. Second sub, nothing. Okay, now we're down to A54. Red is the attacker. Nothing. 1 point of damage. So I do 1 point of damage to the British. That lowers them down to 20? Is that right? It must be that I think the Italians did some convoy in the Germans, so that's why I have them down to 20. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Is that all I think that's everything as far as convoy rating. Okay, so now Maharashtra. I've got 1 shot at 3 with the battlecruiser shore bombardment. Hit. Okay, that was nice. Maharashtra. Let me get out of, wasn't prepared. Let me get a rondelle. Okay, Maharashtra's worth 1. I take it with 2 infantry, 2 Marines, and that's 1 up for Japan, 252, 1 down for FEC, 27. All right, now we've got the South or Cape Town battle. So I've got 6 at 2 because there's no terrain. 2, 4, 6. Rats, I was hoping for one of those to hit, and I've got 2 at 6. 1 hit. Okay, so I only got 1 hit. That'll be his militia. He has 1 at 3 because he's in an unsurrounded city. Miss, and then he's got 3 at 5. Ouch. All right. Well, I was hoping to get 2 and expected him to get 1.5. I got 1, he got 2. So I'm am losing the infantry that got dropped off and another infantry. So I've got 2 infantry, 2 Marines, 2 fighters. He has 3 infantry. 2 infantry, 2 Marines is 4 at 2. 2 hits. That more than makes up for last time. And 2 at 6. I just need 1 more hit, hopefully. Dang it. Okay, so got 2 hits. He has 3 at 5. Nothing. Okay. So he is down to 1 infantry. I predicted to lose 3 units, so we'll see if he hits on this last one, and then we're totally even Steven. I've got 4 at 2. Hit. 2 at 6 just in case I've made a mistake. Dang, man. All right, he's got 1 at 5. Hit. Okay, it all evened out in the end. So I take it with 1 infantry, 2 Marines. It's worth 1. So this is what South Africa looks like, or Cape Town looks like. And that's what Maharashtra looks like. Let me change the production chart. Japan goes to 53. Great Britain goes to 22. Non-combat movement. From Korea, these 2 fighters are going to come down and land on the fleet carrier. From C-Zone P-15, the battleship and light carrier will move down to P-50 and go on the cards here. So I'll have 3 battleships here. And the carrier, light carrier over here. Let's see. From C-Zone P-50 coming off that card, 1 heavy cruiser will go up to P-14 and join that carrier, just in case Hambone decides to get frisky with his sub. So I moved that heavy cruiser to join that carrier. From Nanking, 2 naval transports. I was going to set this up. I was going to chip this out. Just a second. Okay, 2 naval transports will leave port from Nanking to P-32, and then they'll move up to here to P-15. They'll pick up 4 infantry. So I'll leave 2 behind, and then they'll move down to, am I dropping off? P-41, and drop them off in Kwangtung. Let me see if that's on camera. Okay, so they're going to drop off 4 more infantry in Kwangtung. I'm going to put that on this card here because I'm going to move 4 infantry out in a second, doing an amoeba. And then these 2 naval transports will go in port in Kwangtung. Okay, now what's happening is I'm doing a giant amoeba. From Hunan, 4 infantry will move into Kwangtung, and from Kwangtung, oh, I thought I'd only move 4, but I really want to move 8. From Kwangtung, 8 infantry will move into Cochin, China. And I started with 11 there, so I can do that move. From Cochin, China, 1 cavalry will move up to Kwangtung. So that'll get me 2 cavalry in Kwangtung. From, I said I was moving these guys into Cochin, China. I meant Annam Tonkin. They're in Annam Tonkin. That's what touches Kwangtung. And then from Cochin, China, 1 infantry will move to Siam. From British Malaya, I'll have 2 infantry move up to Siam, so that'll get me to 3 infantry there. Gonna leave the 5 Marines in British Malaya. Okay, so there's 1 naval transport here that hasn't moved. It's going to go, that starts in P50. It's going to go 1 to P41, 2 to P32, 3 to Kyushu, and then it will pick up the 2 infantry and drop them off in Korea and go in port in Kyushu in the shipyard down here. These 3 ships are not in port. This transport is in port, if that makes any sense. What the heck, I'll go in port in this major port. That makes it a little bit more obvious, the differences between the 2. Okay, from Sea Zone P43, these 2 destroyers and torpedo boat, well, let's do the torpedo boat destroyer. The torpedo boat destroyer will move up and join my little fleet in P15 at sea. So I've got those 3 ships and the 2 fighters are there in P15. And here in P43, 2 destroyers will pick up 2 Marines, move to P50, and drop off the 2 Marines in British Malaya. So that'll get me up to 7 Marines in British Malaya. You know what, I'm going to move this, I didn't write this down, but I'm going to move this artillery up to Siam too. Wait, I'm so sorry, you guys. I think those Marines were in Siam. The 5 Marines are gonna move down to British Malaya. So these guys will drop off, the 2 destroyers will drop off the 2 Marines in British Malaya. So I end up with 7 Marines in British Malaya, if that makes any sense at all. Putting my 2 destroyers on the task force card. Okay, so do I want to move the artillery up 1? No, I think I'll leave it in Siam for now. Okay. I land all those aircraft back here. This 1 infantry from British Malaya will move up to Siam. That'll get me to 4 there. All those planes are back in British Malaya. All right. I think that's that for here. I've got 1 more move, which is the destroyer from A54 will move up here to I4. It's not doing anything. Okay. And then these 2 naval transports that did not move are going to do strategic naval movement. Got a range of 5 because they're coming from a major port. 1 to I3, 2 to I4, pick up the Marine. So I'll be using 3 strategic naval moves. So that's 1 to I3, 2 to I4, 3 to I7, 4 to I12, 5 to P50. Drop off the Marine in British Malaya. And they'll stay at sea in sea zone P50. Let's do place units. All right, I'm a little bit worried about Panzer J, Mr. Surprise Attack. Now he's starting to move infantry and cavalry my way, so I'm going to put 1 militia here. Not trying to threaten you, just trying to defend myself. 1 infantry in Western Manchuria. So I got 3 more militia. And they're all going to go down here. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to put, you know what, sorry for this delay, gosh. I'm going to change what I did with the destroyer, the non-combat. I brought 2 destroyers from Guam to P50. Instead, one of those destroyers is going to not carry the Marine from Guam. Instead, it's going to go 1, 2 to New Guinea. Is that on camera? 3 up to Caroline Islands. Call in an audible here. And move this Marine up to the Caroline Islands. So that means I do not have 8 Marines in British Malaya. I only have 7 Marines, and Guam still has a Marine. Grabbing another Marine. Sorry for this delay. Okay, so just reviewing how I messed that up. There's only there's 3 destroyers here in P50, 1 destroyer in P46. It'll be in port. Wait, do I want to go in port? 1, 2, 3. He could hit me with. Oh, he doesn't. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I'm going to go in port there in the Caroline Islands. I guess he could hit me. He could hit me with his little Samoa task force, but that's okay. All right, that's what I'm doing. All right. Sorry about that change of events. Let me just double check and see if there's any other non-combat move. Nope. Okay, that's all I got. Placement of units, I already did. I have 3 more Marines to place, and it's going to be New Britain, New Guinea, and Dutch New Guinea. That'll be the 3 right down here. All right, now I've got the 7 infantry. 1 will go in Siam, 1 will go in Rihe, and 1 will go, oh, I said 1 will go in Siam. I mean 1 will go in British Malaya. 1 will go in Rihe. And then 5 will go in Kyushu. Now I've got the 4 stages of heavy battleships. What will happen there is I will advance the 2 that are at stage 3 up to stage 2, and then I will place 2 more on stage 3, And then I'll finish my heavy fleet carrier, and it can go in the C zone in P15. I guess I should move these guys up here. That way it's very clear that these guys are at C. Okay. All right. I think collect income. So I am at 53 with Japan, and I have 6 bonus income for China, and then British Malaya 2, Borneo 2, Java 2, Luzon and the Zayas 2. So 14 total, so that brings me up to 67 for next turn, and hopefully I will survive convoy raiding. I have a feeling convoy raiding's coming to an end for a lot of folks. Let's do disposition of forces. Northern Manchuria, 1 militia. Western Manchuria, 1 militia. Eastern Manchuria, 1 infantry. Rihe, 1 militia, 1 infantry. Korea, 2 infantry. C-Zone P15, 1 heavy fleet carrier, 1 fleet carrier with 2 fighters, 1 heavy cruiser, 1 torpedo boat destroyer. In port in Kyushu, 1 naval transport. Kyushu, 5 infantry. Honshu, 1 seaplane. Tokyo, 1 infantry. South Sakhalin Island, 1 militia. 1 militia in Okinawa, Volcano Islands, Bonin Islands, Marshall Islands, Caroline Islands, 1 militia, 1 infantry, 1 destroyer in port. Guam, 1 infantry, Palau, 1 militia. Dutch New Guinea, 1 militia, New Guinea, 1 militia. New Britain, 1 militia. C-Zone P59, 1 coastal submarine. C-Zone, or I guess Sarawak, 2 infantry. C-Zone P50. There is a coastal sub and 2 naval transports. There is a fleet carrier with 2 fighters, a light carrier, 2 light cruisers, 3 battleships, 1 destroyer, 1 torpedo boat destroyer. Suyan, 1 militia, 6 infantry. Hopei, 1 militia. Shangtung, 1 militia. Hunan, 1 militia. Kwangtung, 3 heavy cruisers, 2 naval transports in port, 2 militia. 11 infantry, 1 mountain infantry, 2 cavalry, 2 marines, 1 motorized infantry, 1 artillery. Burma, 2 infantry. Annam Tonkin, 8 infantry. Siam, 1 militia, 4 infantry, 1 artillery. British Malaya, 1 infantry, 7 marines, 3 tactical bombers, 1 medium bomber. Maharashtra, 2 infantry, 2 marines. C-Zone I-7, 1 battlecruiser, 2 destroyers, 1 torpedo boat destroyer, 1 naval transport. C-Zone I-4, 1 destroyer, 2 submarines. In Italian Somaliland, 1 fighter. In Cape Town, 1 infantry, 2 marines. C-Zone I-54, 2 submarines. C-Zone I-1, 1 naval transport, 1 light carrier, 1 fighter. I think that is everything. You know what? I don't like that light carrier with the fighter and a naval transport. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have those 3 units go. No, I can't have the naval transport go in port. Okay, I'll have this destroyer not go to I-4. It will go to I-1. Bolster that just a little bit. Okay. Let me show you the board now that we've got I don't do the tech kind of reversed, but at the end of the turn, here's what my board looks like. You can correct me if I've got anything wrong. Next up is Hambone with turn 11.5 Great Britain and 11.6 Free France.